Previously on FortressCraft World Tour. Okay, but seriously, stop asking me to read this.
The part, one of the things that was featured in FortressCraft 12 originally, here being the hospital. Now there's just floating blocks in the air, but again, I'm not going to do anything about that. So anyway, you have all this shit underneath the tree, and built him a little courtyard leading up to his house, and for some reason there's a sign with floating eyes that says hi. Thank you. Alright. So we're gonna go back here around this here hospital. And come over here to the second thing that I built on this world, being the McDonald's. Now at the time, when I first built it, it was just the McDonald's. Play Place came later. Anyway, so we'll go in here and get diabetic. Close that because I like having my door shut. And this is why I always have red and white tables and gold chairs, because I built these tables and chairs initially for this world and then realized you can only have 64 custom blocks. So I'm like, well, fuck it, I guess I'm just going to reuse a bunch of shit in other places. So you have your menu, your people taking your order and getting it wrong. We'll come down here. This is where all the food is stored, because let's be honest, nothing is fresh in fast food, no matter what they tell you. That sounds a little bit like Alex Jones, but it's probably true. So yeah, nothing special down there other than just boxes of boxes. But yeah. Then we'll go over here. This is the play place. You have your tables, little spots where kids take their shoes. I don't know why that was always a thing. I remember that though. And then you have these bounce blocks that you can launch yourself from one to the other. I guess, and bang your head into the ceiling, which is probably the reason why so many children are retarded. And then you have a little minecart ride, and a pool table here in the back. And then there's just a bunch of wacky shit up here. You have a bounce thing that can again jam your head into the ceiling. This is probably necessary. The parents might want to try that as well if they're having trouble parenting. Blue room isn't really all that special, just has a good view of hospital there and Ben's house. There's a joke there somewhere. And the green thing here, and these are just the stairs up, but you have a slide you can take and ride all the way down without actually touching your controller. Go back up here, and into this yellow room. For some reason has a block there in the middle to jump over or climb over. And we have these again, fling you between each other, and again give your child head trauma. Going up this way, we actually have a water slide. Out here into the Mississippi River, I guess is what I called it at the time. But now, this is one of the things I added on quite later, is that there is a hello, thank you. There's basically a conveyor belt that takes you all the way back up to the slide thing, so yeah, you can ride it, and then it'll launch you to get right there, and all you have to do is jump up and walk forward, and it launches you again. I really like this song, but it's like really kind of annoying that it's nighttime and I'm outside trying to do shit. Anyway, so we'll go back over here past the McDonald's. Sometimes it feels like the order that I'm doing this shit in doesn't make much sense, but it's because there's too much shit everywhere. So over here around behind the McDonald's, this was one of the additions that we did in FortressCraft 11. With Godby furniture, and these flowers that sway back and forth look like they're alive. And yeah, for people who don't understand, Godby is a furniture store, and that does not say Gooby, otherwise there wouldn't be a block on the corners there. learn to read. I made it pretty obvious. Okay, now that music's over, we're going to fast forward the time. Because I do not like it being dark. I want the music, I just don't want it to be dark out. Alright. So yeah, you have all your furniture sets in here, everything matches in color for some reason, and all your multicolored different beds, and some unenthused 19-year-old to sit back here and make purchases for you. Yeah, so really all there is to that. The only thing that I really like about this building is just the elegance of the building design itself. Then we have our plaza, our shopping plaza. This is one that we actually built in the middle of FortressCraft 11, being the Great Clips, which is a haircut place for those who live outside of America. Check-in spot, waiting seats, all the different rainbow banners that they have across. But I do recall actually building this in FortressCraft 11. Yeah. There we go. And then there's an AT&T here for some reason. I think it was just for the hilarity of how bad their service is to include them in this world. Because you get about as much service in the middle of this game as you do in real life. Here are cell phones, tablets. I know they're the same block, but bear with me. There's a joke there somewhere too. You have your support staff. Support. And then over here you have Papa John's. Now, obviously, Papa John's, pizza, Italian. So don't judge me why I chose red, white, and green. It just felt natural. So yeah, you have all the cash registers here, and then back here where everything gets cooked. You probably won't have a lot of Jewish employees with all the ovens. There are lots of ovens. Excuse me. But yeah, anyway. That's Papa John's in a nutshell. These fucking doors, man. Now, I know you've been seeing this in the corner of your eye and being like, oh god, that's right, this exists. And this, to me, was just an artistic adventure, if you will. If you won't, you may leave at any time. But yeah, this was just meant to be artistic. There's a lot of shit just thrown all over the place, and that's kind of the point. That's all I really have to say about that. Don't judge me. I will mention that this is actually the 4th world that I've ever built on FortressCraft. I had 3 before I actually started making this one seriously and filming shit and keeping it. I had 3 before this. The first 2 I think ended up like crashing or got flooded, which was a big issue back in the day. But since then, I had a 3rd one, and I built a lot on it, or not a lot, but enough on it that it was kind of sad to get rid of it. But at the same point, I didn't really like having a hilly world. I wanted to build a flat city, and that's kind of what we've become. But in all 4 of the worlds, the reason I mentioned this, all 4 of the worlds that I had before, all 4 of them had a lodge, or all 3 of the ones before this also had a lodge, and they all had a McDonald's. And I think the only other thing that was then in common with this world is that I also had a superstore on my 3rd world, which was a Walmart. And of course, then since then I built a Target because, I don't know, I want to have some standards.